Hello everyone, and welcome back. In today's video, I used a photo filter app by the name of Faceplay, not sponsored, to turn Fallout New Vegas characters into anime using an anime filter. And let's just say the results are kind of weird, to say the least. And with that said, let's get into the video, shall we? And first up, we have the notorious Robert Edwin House. Now, this one, his eyes are rolling back up, so I think you may have just killed him. And this just looks like a straight up shitpost. I mean, look at that expression. Now, time for Fallout New Vegas fans' favourite femboy. Yes, I know about the subreddit that shall not be named. This one just looks like wholesome and kawaii, and this one just looks kind of cursed. You notice that in both it shows the wolf ears. Next up is Joshua Graham, and with that bandage head, it's gonna turn out weird. Now this guy straight up just looks like a prisoner in like a maximum security prison, and this guy looks like the same guy, but he's been on some certain substances. Now it's time for everyone's favourite crazy uncle in Father Elijah. Now this one just, I don't even know how this one came to be. It's just... And this is, it's not too bad, not too cursed, a bit odd obviously. This just looks scary in it, like, that's scarier than the ghosts in Dead Money, to be honest. Now it's time for Leg Atlanteus, and with that helmet, let's just say things are gonna look a bit odd. Now this one, you can tell that it struggled a bit, but it's not awful. And this is just, this, again, just scary, man. Now it's time for Cass, and these are the first ones that kind of come out decently, because I didn't mention it in the beginning, but for some of these it works decently well. You know, these just seem like, you know, just a different stylized version, and there's nothing particularly wrong or cursed about it, you know. Now it's time to see Benny in a whole different light. Now, this one gives me serious American Psycho vibes. You can't tell me that's not Patrick Bateman. And this one just kind of looks like an F-boy on TikTok, to be honest. Now it's time for everyone's favourite degenerate, Kaiser. So, these ones didn't come out too badly, you know, they look somewhat decent. They're not, like, broken or weird, but, you know, bit funny, not gonna lie. Now, this one, of course, Lily's gonna come out a bit funky, because super mutant, and there you go, you know. Obviously body proportions get a bit messed up, and yeah, it's now it's time for Victor, and much like Lily, because his body type is different, things do come out a bit weird. Now, this one came out really good. It's probably one of my favorites that we got the whole time, but this is what I mean about weird stuff, because, like, how did it even come up with this, you know what I mean? And now for another weird one with Yes Man, and there you go. You can see that his feet are his hands, and it also looks like he's got legs. And this one just looks like a bad YouTuber sprite, to be honest. Now for Veronica, and I think it's because of her short hair, because what I was saying about them not actually all being anime girls, it does change, and because of the short hair I think it does this, and then for the second one it kind of figures out that she's a girl. And then for Raoul, his are going to turn out a bit odd because he is a ghoul, and they kind of do, you know. Definitely not what you'd expect Raoul to look like, considering he's Mexican, but, you know, I can't really fault the anime filter on this one. Now, time for Christine, and if you've been paying attention, you'd notice that it kind of turns everything to a hoodie, and because she's wearing a bomb collar, there you go, you know. Both times it turns it into some kind of fashion statement. Dr. Mobius is weird transformations, and again, because it's some kind of machine, it ends up doing some really odd things, and it was particularly with the screens, it ends up with some really weird combinations. Now, for Ulysses, and you've already seen the first one in the thumbnail, and it's another one that came out somewhat decently. And then there is this second one, which is similar but different. And yeah, every now and then it comes out with some pretty decent ones. Arcane Ganon. Now, his whole aesthetic changes, you know. He definitely looks like a fuckboy on TikTok. It's pretty funny. Yeah, you know, not really the same guy. Now, for Eddie, or ED, whatever, I knew it was going to be weird because he's a robot, and yeah, didn't disappoint. It came out really cursed both times, and really disproportionate and strange. Now, for Doc Mitchell, it did not really go the way I thought it would. In this first one, he looks like a Twitch streamer, and in the second, he looks like he's on a podcast. Neither of these look like an old man, but you know, whatever. Now, Chet is probably one of my favourites, because in this first one, he's super quiet, and it even keeps his glasses. Now, in this second one, he looks a lot angrier, and the glasses get turned to a Zion, but both these came out really good. Now, for Private Kowalski, otherwise known as the guy whose brother was definitely a bitch. Now, in these ones, the first one is before you hit his memorial, and the second one is after, or at least that's my headcanon, because he looks absolutely psychotic. Now for Jason Bright, and because he's a ghoul, it does come out a bit weird. In this first one, he just straight up looks like an anime protagonist. I mean, it's a filter, but you could see him in one. And this one just looks like he put a bit too much bronzer on. Maybe he's trying to pretend to be a statue for money, I don't know. Now for Vera from the Dead Money DLC, and I think it's because it's a picture in-game, but these come out really good. That's why there's 5 of them. It's the most out of any of them, because it is just really well done, and each one has like its own style to it, so I think these came out really great. Probably the highlight of doing this, to be honest, because I really like each one of these. Now for the Idiot with Glasses, otherwise known as Mr. Fantastic. Now his came out, I don't know, this is pretty interesting. Looks kind of more douchey than you'd want in the first one, and the second one just looks kind of wholesome, not gonna lie. Now Pearl, our favourite boomer in 2 ways, is kind of odd. She kind of defies gender, especially in the second one. Again, I think it's because of the short hair stuff, but it does not really pick that stuff up very well. Now for Papa Khan, and I mean, just look at this. They deadass turned the Black Skull to a black guy in the background. And this one, I mean, he's just in a street somewhere, but, you know. Now for Mortimer, and with the White Glove Society's outfit, High Hopes. And yeah, it delivered. I really like these two. They're like stylized and interesting, and in both ones it does something with the lights and makes a crack in the wall. Now for this idiot from Honest Hearts, it's a good thing he dies in 2 minutes because he's annoying. And in this one he looks way less incel-y, and in this one it just looks like an even more stylized version of that. Now I decided to put an even odder ball into the mix because we all love the Gunrunner Ventatron. And for this one, I don't think it really registered properly, although it does make the head bigger with the light. And with this one, head even bigger, and the light from the robot is still there. So, pretty weird. Now for Waking Cloud, and because of the hue and quality of this image, it gets pretty cursed. For this first one is definitely a horror fest with those teeth and background, and this one is also a horror fest because of that neck and teeth again. I know this isn't actually a character, but I wanted to see what it would do with the Enclave armor, and it was pretty interesting. For both, it adds the green from the plasma rifle into the image itself, and it was just a really interesting one. Now for the Elder of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I don't think the filter knew what to do with this guy, because for this one it looks like a bomb collar thing, but it's not, and the weird colors. This guy looks like he's new up out of Atlanta, and this one's not too bad, but it is still a bit odd, so yeah, I don't think it really knew what to do with him. Time for Dean Domino, and this one wasn't really affected by the fact that he was a ghoul. You know, this one's not too bad, teeth are a bit off, I like the backgrounds, but you know, not too bad. And this one, again, backgrounds, but that is a Jeff the Killer looking ass, I'm not gonna lie. Now for Cook. Now I was interested in this because he doesn't actually show his face, and this one turns the background into a train kind of rest thing, which was pretty cool, and this one does a similar thing, but it kind of turns it into a doorway, so yeah, not too bad. Now for Motor Runner. Now the interesting thing about this one is it actually turns his headpiece into hair, which I thought was pretty cool. And this one is just really weird and surreal. I mean, the person itself is really odd, but the detail on the hands is like unsettling, and I don't know why it does that. Now for Julia Fox, the leader of the Followers of the Apocalypse, and these ones came out quite decently. This kind of looks Backroomsy-ish, but you know, whatever. And this one looks pretty good as well, you know, because some of these do actually come out quite well, to be honest. Now for Maryland, Mr. House's hug robot, and these came out a bit funny because she's just a Curatron. My favourite though has to be this, because not only does it have a face, not only is it stylized background, but it's got two smaller people as the arms, and that's probably one of the uniquest ones that I managed to get. Now we've got the weird, infected, broken Securitrons from Old World Blues, and these came out a bit odd. It didn't really pick it up very well, but I think it's interesting that in both there's semblance of the tool cabinets in the background. Now this is just a picture of some of the Brotherhood members, but I thought it'd be interesting, and I mean, they're alright, you know. In this one it only picks up one, and in this one it managed to pick up two, but I just thought it'd be interesting to see what it does with multiple people. Now, since this is the last photo, besides a surprise, I thought it was only fitting that it was all of the companions in the game together at the Lucky 38. Now, I think it's interesting that Rex becomes a person, Lily turns into two people in the background, and Arcade is the only one wearing white. Now, for the second picture, it is not as interesting, but what's funny is that both pictures, the Lucky 38 symbol turns into an anime girl. But the thing is that all of these, if you look, are kind of more low res because there's so many people to detail. And now for the surprise, Deathclaw. So, what does it look like when you put an anime filter on the Deathclaw? So, horrific teeth and disgusting body. There you go. It comes out pretty weird, but pretty interesting. And that's it. Those are all the photos that we've got for today. And I was thinking we could maybe make a series out of this if you guys are interested, because we could do like the creatures and the backgrounds, because although it is about the people, like the filter, it does do interesting stuff with the background, so it could be cool. We could also do it with different Fallout games or different games in general. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. I also don't know about the commentary, because I tried to make it, you know, funny and insightful, but you know, obviously it's what you guys want. Like, if you want it to have no commentary, then please let me know what you guys think. You know, some constructive criticism, and that's why I have uploaded a video of it that's basically the same, just without commentary, just to see what you guys like, you know, testing the waters. But with all that said, I've been Sweet Tripod, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.